In today's video, how many calories over maintenance do you need to build muscle?
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and we are in the throes of winter here in Florida. It is a brisk 60 degrees, so I'm wearing a hoodie. That's right. And actually, my Barbell Brigade hoodie is so dirty because I've been wearing it that I had to dig up this old beater. But here we are, talking about what does it take to build muscle? How many calories do you need to be bulking? And the question, well, it comes from my Instagram direct message today. So if you check out my Instagram right here, send me a direct message. I will copy, screenshot it, and post it. And so for today, I've actually got two people asking me a similar question. So I'll put them on the screen here just so you can see. But basically the idea is when it comes to getting into a building phase where you're trying to put on muscle, how necessary is it to put on a bunch of body fat? How necessary is it to be eating a caloric surplus well over your maintenance? I've got a lot of experience in this regard because I've been doing this for, I don't want to tell you guys, it's over 23 years now that I've been lifting weights, trying to put on muscle. And probably for the last 11 now, I've really paid attention to diet. And so there's something I want to tell you guys, and you probably already know. Adding muscle is really hard. That's right, guys. Adding muscle is a very difficult process. It takes a very long time. And although we get these things thrown at us, these numbers, like, oh, let's put on 5 pounds of muscle, let's put on 10 pounds of muscle. I can tell you, you're not going to put on 5 pounds of muscle this year. You're not going to put on 10 pounds of muscle this year. 14-year-old boys that are watching this that have never lifted a weight, and they say, well, I'm going to put on 10 pounds of muscle. No. You're in puberty. You're going to gain 10 pounds, but it's not going to be muscle, okay? So what can we actually expect in terms of muscle gain? Well, before you get too downtrodden and disappointed, I want you to actually understand what a pound of muscle would look like. Adding 1 pound of muscle to your frame would completely change the way that you look. Go to the store and grab a 16-ounce steak. That is a lot of tissue to add to a single person's frame, okay? I don't know many people that are ever going to be adding pounds of muscle per year. Now, lean body mass, that's a different number, okay? Because muscle itself holds fluid, you've got connective tissue, your organs can change size. There's lots of other things besides muscle that are included in lean body mass. So you hear these numbers thrown around. But the reason I bring this up is to remind you that putting on muscle is a very slow process, okay? It requires that we eat, train consistently for months, weeks, years to even see any change in our physique at all, especially for those that have some experience. Now, when we first start training, yes, there is going to be an adaptation phase where your body seems to be growing immensely early on. For everyone outside of that, what we're going to see is long, consistent gains over time, and I think they're actually better. Why? Because those initial muscle gains that you make, if you quit lifting, well, they go right away. But if you've been lifting for 15, 10, 20 years, when you take a day off, when you take a week off, when you take a month off, it doesn't go anywhere. That is yours to keep, okay? Now, I'm also talking about natural lifters. Does that mean I have a problem with anyone that's not on steroids? No. That changes things. Steroids change things. I think we know that. I'm talking about natural bodybuilding, natural lifting. And the reason I want to bring this up is because I don't want us to get into a thought process where we need to be bulking. You know, I've made the mistake, and I'm not even going to call it a mistake. I made the decision to go, you know what? I want to weigh 250 pounds. I am going full Hulk bulk, okay? It was after my first competition season where I earned my pro card, and I said, you know what, I'm going hard. I'm squat, bench, and deadlifting. I'm putting on the muscle. I want to weigh 250 pounds. And I did it. And I thought, well, if I get up to that weight, I lift all that weight. If I get heavy, the strongest I've ever been, I was definitely the strongest I've ever been. But when it all came back down to it, my stage weight didn't really change, okay? That stage number, though it was very similar, was a different look. I had a more muscular look to my frame. I got a little bit leaner, but it was not necessary for me to be 55 pounds over stage weight. Not necessary. However, it did teach me a valuable lesson, that it's not necessary for me to get up there to change the way I look. So how many calories above maintenance do you need to be? Well, first things first. We need to be in a happy body composition place, meaning you can't be stage lean, okay? And you can't be obese. You need to be in a place where your body is functioning properly. This is going to be your maintenance phase, your maintenance body weight. What is that? Well, for everybody it's going to be a little bit different, but I find for myself it's a good 12-13% body fat where I feel good all the time. I'm performing. I still look pretty good, digesting well. I'm eating, recovering. Okay. I'm not so lean that hormones are an issue. I'm not overweight so that insulin sensitivity is an issue. Okay. I'm in that good holding pattern. And I think you guys know exactly what I'm saying here. You know what your happy place is. You know where you feel good, you feel strong, you recover. That's where we need to be. When you're there, how many calories above that do you need to be? Barely any, 100, 200, perhaps. The one thing I don't like with my athletes when we're in a building phase is to see the scale constantly going up every single month. Now, from contests, yes, from shredded, yes, we want to see the scale going up for a while. But once we get into that good number, that good holding pattern, I want to get calories up as high as I can, cardio as low as I can, still keeping a little bit in, and we're just focusing on performance. If you are getting stronger and you feel great, you do not need to be constantly bulking, constantly. You can find your maintenance or slightly above maintenance calories and just kind of maintain there and just kind of play. Like if you have a day where you feel a little run down, maybe you bump them up for a while. If you're feeling a little soft and pudgy, maybe you pull them back for a few days, okay? This is where we're just gonna focus on being happy, because this process takes time. Take time away from the stage. Take at least a year off, a full year. That doesn't mean a year between shows. That means from the time you do a show, take a year until you prep again. If you want to see significant changes in your diet, I suggest 2, 3, or 4, okay? The longer you take away from stage, the more significant your progress is going to be when you diet again. My first time dieting for a show, I was 32 years old. I'd been training for 14 years, maybe 15 if you count 17. That's a lot of time. Now, had I competed at 20, after 2 or 3 years of training, I would not have competed till I was 25 or maybe 30, right? I would have taken all that time. I have the benefit of having a lot of this training behind me. I know a lot of people now with the sports popularity growing are competing at younger ages with more frequency. If that's you, consider taking 2, 3 years off. The sport is getting more and more competitive. More people are competing. The sport is getting tougher. So give yourself a chance. Don't be focused on always seeing the scale go up. Find your maintenance. Eat slightly above it, and be happy with the process. Be consistent. Hopefully this helps you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All by myself.